whatever it is, wherever you are. Alright. We got that, we got that. I'm just naming. I didn't really pay attention to live serve, but I'm not really using that one usually. I'm not sure it's directly related to this. We solved that. I think that's good for now. I kind of need to keep an eye on that. Alright, so item search, person search are kind of okay. Actually, you're something different. Your item search. Your name overlay. That's mostly good. I might want to do some smoothing, but that's going to be hard. So it's probably going to move down a bit. Wait. You should be above that. So we got two little quick fixes. I'm not sure that there's anything that can be done with the appearance time. Sometimes it's too slow, sometimes it's too fast. That's the main one I need it for. I could maybe spend some time thinking about this one, but outright testing it is like a 10-minute process, and that's if we get everything set up perfectly. Alright, so that's actually the easier of them. Oh, pathing. I mean, these should be pretty quick. I'm not sure about that one. This one should be. Pathing. So we've got two things here. We've got road following, which supposedly they had to update, fix that for most people. And we've got over travel to interact with object. Name labels. Draw name labels. Oops, we had a space there. We imported some other spaces. Now I just want to fix this up. This is draw a character name label. Missed you. Draw a live object. No, this has to be something else. No, draw a live object. So apparently I had to actually modify that. So I didn't actually technically change this line. It's still going to show up in my patch. Oh man, these are all over the place. Must have never cleaned this up. Oh, well. I did bump that parameter. Anyway. The thing we need to set name known. Last named gets cut off. Existing current speech. Stern comp, last named, existing name, text length, existing name known. This must be a name up. Yeah, it's steps, so who knows? Oh, yep, names. So if we get if it was a successful naming phrase. So probably this would be what? A lineage message that includes our own mother? Actually, this is type equals names. Ow. Well... I actually need to be a little bit careful with the standard log here. So I guess I need to get a character born to another character. And then we look at that log from the baby perspective to see what order things are going to come in. Oh, and we're specifically worried about names. I think we can pin this. I 51 standing out. What do we like? Name. Lineage. Okay, so we get lineage before name. And I guess that's the lineage for every character? I've forgotten how that's laid out in memory, though. So we get a lineage message. Okay, so lineage is indeed a per live object element. That's last token. And start. If it's Eve, else. Existing lineage push back. So this should be like. I'm gonna have to see if. Just got our own lineage. Does the genetic family be an ancestor of this person? Just got our own lineage. This is separate. I'm trying to figure out if we push back, because the first thing is like us, and I guess lineage 0 would be mother. Okay, so there's the last name to check. No names. What are you doing to me here? Wait a minute. Last named. Yeah, it's... we should be... look at the if text length, not the if last named. Can existing lineage... I mean, it's probably going to be at least an empty array. Now, with vectors, do they have the reference operator? No, get element. How do we use lineage though? Because there's also get element direct. Well, our and their is for heavy processing. Oh, that was the test suite. Size. Get element direct is how that is normally used. Does that get bounds check? Well, what would it even return if there wasn't something there? Ah, shoot. Is it size? Size. There has to be at least one entry. I think it's the first. No, wait. This is... If we've gotten the name... No, not if they have a mother. Existing lineage size. So, now this is an R object check. And I don't know if this is... Hopefully this is ordered in a useful way. Isn't there an R object check somewhere? Oh, I'm thinking of the lineage stuff. But we get lineage before names. Well, we can still say name known if we don't have the name. Just got our own lineage. Existing lineage size. If existing lineage dot size is, I guess, greater than 0, will be sufficient. If it's greater than 0, then we need to look that person up. Get live object, get element direct, 0. Alright, let's see how people are doing. Okay, so that baby is in fact dead. So we can use that account. Oh, and we do in fact see the knave. It's just Eve, but we see the name. So how much trouble is that going to be? Yep. I'm last craving food ID. What I'm actually have to hook into is where do we do sought objects? Okay, so this is where we do the search. And in true JSON style, we put this directly into the colon handler. Following from the slash search. So this is searching for objects with a hit name. So I guess my default would actually be just sought objects is craving ID. No match. Delete all, push. Is there a condition when I do this? Not really. Oh, you know what? I specifically do a search for blank. If it's greater than 0, object search string, object search string, not equal to null. So sought objects delete all. So this would only happen if I had explicitly done a blank. As we could see, when a craving comes in, we could see if that is it. Or we actually set this up in search. Yeah, search string. I need sought objects. Index. Sort objects get element index. Aha. So this is saying index. And if index is less than 0. Then search in containers. mSort.objects get element ID. So this is going to be a little bit. Now all we're saying is it is the sought object. We're not using the index. It's more of a found something flag. But we do keep searching through all of these things at all of these different levels. So this part would continue to work cleaner if we did actually update that array. But we could set this up to search for the object. But essentially we'd have to have a conditional at every single point where we say, is it an object? Is it an object? Is it an object? To say, oh, well, if it's empty. And I'm not sure I'm actually doing a it's not empty check right now. So that's a little wasteful. That's using mSort objects. How would I manage that? So this would say, we did that anytime there's no hits, not if it was specific. We'd have to specifically do that for blank string. I think that thing will be okay by itself. Search string not equal to null. So there's U, and we would have to check. That is an mObject search string. So when the craving comes in, we could also check. mSort objects. Oh, do we not know the craving ID statically? No, I actually had to explicitly add this. Because by default, it was just setting up to display it. Last craving food ID. And I forgot to note my position. Okay, delete all. Pushback, and actually I think this is technically out of style there. In food ID, if it's greater than 0, so that tells us that this should only be true greater than 0. All right, second place. I guess set new craving would work. Live craving message. Do I interact with this at all? I don't know that I explicitly check for it anywhere. Probably I allow the initial, when a new craving comes in, I allow that to update. This part we'd only want to do if there's no active search, though. Or is it M object search string? This is what? Set search sheet. If it equals null, then reset our craving to that. Which actually, maybe that's not the best place to do that then. The search string equal to null. And return, okay. This is specifically a search sheet. Object search string. Why do we need to do this? We need to do this when a new craving comes in. Well, actually, did I have that? We always call set search sheet after this. So that might be a reasonable place to do it. If we're setting that and it's not anything, so that would actually be in here. So that would come in. There, let's see, no early returns. mlist. So we know that we're setting a craving now, which comes in as in food ID. So that's not an issue. The issue is, no, this is really if there is a search string or not. If M object search string Raven Gooseberry. Yeah, this won't find consequence necessarily, but it does find the... Oh. I've got some conditional code here that is not bouncing that. Oh. Oh. Huh, I guess that was just a first time thing. Wild carrot. So the food ID is wild carrot. Now if I did a search for gooseberry, we would find gooseberry bush. If I did a search for wild carrot, we would find that. So I should probably try this first, but I might need to look up the item name and then do a search for it to get everything you might like here. All right, STG, go to... Oops, no, I don't need you yet. I need to compile first. There should be little fixes. All right, this is going to be a little bit more involved. I almost might pull out the editor here, but... All right, so we've got plain old road. I guess all I need is some turns. So what do we need? We need... it starts out going that way. So you're probably going to want a couple turns. Maybe a lot of south now. What are these things called? Paving direction. And we bounced for too long. It's just that it actually did a reconnect, or a disconnect, though. That won't even technically hit the tree, but we kind of want a route here. I want the test turns, and then I'm not even sure where I was going to set that up. Alright, just for... I don't know if this works. Or if I kept going to have to start it myself. Ooh. Okay. It's gotten confused. It's still confused. I don't know why. Maybe... Oh. I can't type normally now. Okay. And bouncy bouncy. Isn't... Yeah, west is the basic one, right? Oh, I didn't set up anything to stop it. Okay. Yeah. So, there is something about auto run. What if I'm not in run mode? I just need a longer path to get started. I might not have enough of a path to get started. Oh, okay. That wasn't a corner. Alright, so this is where we need to do a quick check here. Wait, wrong one. Okay, I must have modified this code and then it didn't get updated. But it must be something that wasn't using the function. Because if the function name changed, and it would have just not compiled if that didn't work. Well. And I don't even necessarily know which patch that was. And it's probably one of the auto run patches. Well, okay, we can do our own sort of git bisect here. Camera controls. It's camera control? Control. Okay, that's not it. So camera control. It's probably auto run, but actually, let's just go to auto run and then pop that. Ah, yes. We went over the names. Okay, so that's SDG pop. Take our prime suspect there. Okay, confirmed. So, SDG push, SDG show. What are we doing? Unfortunately, some of this doesn't show up here. Not mouse held. Oh, I've got my own check for auto walk there. Ah, yeah, this is a direct floor test. Now, we got some... Well, this one's dubious, because it's... I guess that's me adding it. Okay, this was a patch that didn't end up working out. Oh, and then, we've got an if road check here, we should probably double check. I may have actually taken out some other code there for that. Draw path marks, get setting. So somewhere in step, yeah, our road equals false. So I like condensed all of this into one place and then possibly overwrote whatever the regular code was doing. Int floor if map floors map IP equals floor. So isn't there like... Oh, this is actually brand new code. What did we take out? There's like a completely separate road run check? Or maybe the stuff that was clipped out of the patch, the regular mode. Okay, so Bearward Road. 2158. We're going to need to come back here. 21203 is same road. As far as possible in that direction with next click. Floor final step. Floor next step. In floor pause. Oh, so you're doing the map lookup too. Maybe he extracted this function after I did all that other code. Is same road... Okay, so is same road class would be sufficient for the code I've got. In floor, pause. That would be the floor you're on, I think. I'm going to have to see... what we're doing here. OID. Get map index. Prev step. Final step. Path length -2. Path length -1. Map previous, map final. So to use that function directly, I would have to get the difference of my path, or my pause, to pass in dx dy. It would then do the map lookup for me. And map floors. Well, okay, so there's your next map I not equal to -1, which you already checked up there. Is same road. Maybe same road class is checking writable. Well, easier fix. Do we care about floor greater than 0? You certainly don't. Alright, did I... Nope. Alright, that jumped all the way back. Nope, okay, I didn't... I thought like capital U was undo line. Okay, so we were doing a direct lookup on floor. But it's a function he declared somewhere. Wait, no, it's not declared here. What? Lowercase r, which is not what that particular function does by default for case-sensitive search. Yep, that person's gone. Oh, right, I don't have most of my mod at this point. Where did I go? Up here. Okay, so that fixed it. I must be preempting that other section of code. And the point of this was that if we auto-ran across a road... I guess I have to... I thought I actually made it like prefer roads at one point, though. Maybe I made it so it wasn't quite so greedy. Oh, okay, so they're moving that direction on that. It worked. All right, now... What the... I hit caps lock or something? Here we go. What do we got here? All right, see the only problem there. I should probably update all of these. And then the other stuff is more experimental. I don't know if we'll get anywhere. But those should be relatively safe. Let's see. Fix running on roads. Mother's name is known. And what else did we fix? I don't think I didn't actually... default search for craving. Yeah, I guess that would be... That's... Well, that one might actually be more experimental. We'll, all this will still wait till I try it out today. That one could have possibly waited a little bit. So the other thing, and finding the... I'm going to have to find a situation where I can get it to happen reliably, is sometimes the pathing annoys me. Let's see. I mean, stacks of rocks would probably be fine. Now you see, that's actually fine. Although this is probably... No, these are not blocks walking objects. These are doing just fine. Is it when there's some... Is it use specific? No. What is it that was bugging me? It was like picking carrots into a box? The box is blocks walking. Wooden box with slots. Ah. Okay, there's the pointer. And we're like doing these. Yeah. Oh, because that was an empty transition. This is an object transition. But from here... It's probably the same for this. Whereas from here, you can just do it. But if I have to go over there, if I have to path to an object to interact with, I have to go to the tile. This might actually be kind of an interaction keys thing, even though it would technically affect any other pathing. Actually, that would be interaction refactoring. Probably. We're probably going through use at. If we are holding something, which we're not in this case, well, just move near to. And there's some... Okay, so dropping the rocks was a holding ID case. Well, this is looking awfully close. Well, this isn't necessarily a use it from here case. Actually, this... No, because we're still picking up with empty hand. So this seems like it's a move near to. So we've got a dest x and dest y, dest ID. If we are in bounds of the map, we can figure out what the ID at that location is. If dest ID is greater than 0, I don't think it's going to have any special access. Okay, it is going to be not grid adjacent. Grid adjacent or self. Can't reach the main tile. It's not wide. Need to move to empty adjacent first. Also consider spot itself. So the intervening spaces are not empty. Is that it? Now, unfortunately, well, if I just go like maybe one, I need to go to at least interaction keys to actually have the controls for this. All right, so let's get us okay, we can drop there, fine. Now what if we were picking these back up? Okay, went all the way to there. But if we were to do like this, and actually that's already doing a side pickup. Well, that one went all the way over there because it had to go farther. No, okay, so it's not that the tile before it is empty. So the difference is if it thinks it's a pickup option, it will go to the side. If it's performing a transition on the tile that leaves something there, okay. So we are not currently grid adjacent. It is not a wide object. Are there any other major sections here? Looks like it's kind of one big blob from here on out. Find closest path spot. I think that this is setting up our current position. We're also checking these in a certain order. But we've seen that it can find that spot in certain situations. Don't consider dest spot itself generally. Side access only. Don't consider north neighbor. Oh, these all preclude this thing. Dest ID greater than 0. If we're not holding anything, are those supposed to be else? And start and limit. Lock the tile itself if target is permanent and not blocking and hand is empty. Something still, as a result, something's on the ground, so it's not a transferring pickup, and the new thing is on the ground. Example, picking berries from behind the bush. This is the main situation where you'd want to click the same target and yourself multiple times. So having yourself as close as possible to the target matters. This is implemented before piles. Do I just remove this? Because I think you could eat down a berry bush just as easily. But it's only if you have to walk to it. So if I'm next to it, oh, you can't pile berries. And is that really any different? I'll have eaten some of these from if you're here. I don't really think that's all that different. So it's mainly just an appearance thing. If I'm going to do a bunch of stuff on the bush, walk to the bush. I don't think I want this case. This is going to definitely be a more experimental one. But the only effect of this is that end start thing. I think I can go update different patch, because you really do need that to be able to test it. So this is going to be an experiment for today, and if the experiment holds, we just outright delete it. Okay. Actually, replacing the slot box probably wouldn't get rid of the contents. Oh, first action after VOG. I guess I should actually see if I could figure out why that is sometimes. But if you don't move first, it gets very confused. Okay, yes, we can stand next to it. We don't have to go all the way in. And that's just next to it. I do have to... Let's see. Help refresh. Let me update the current patch file. I'm not sure what that means. Minus P. Okay, so we think we fixed that. We think we fixed that. Hierarchy feels like that should be a day's project in and of itself. Is it age scaling? This is just going to be a hard one to think about. Do I have... Okay, so that's our scale. Possibly I just need to make this 11555. Because this ends up being a little bit weird. That's something you would just have to sit there for 10 minutes to test, though. Is it music player? Not really. Living life page, age control. Music player 2. All right, and music player 2. We do display age. Next 5 block. Seal in display age divided by 5. Why did I do that divided by 5? We replace, well, in age divided by 5. So that is the next music ID, essentially. Too close to age transition, start on next. In age plus 60 seconds. In display age, which we've translated. Display age, next music done. Next 5 block times 5. So So that's a number of minutes. Special case end of life, have music, and 5 seconds after end of life. So there's an abrupt cutoff. The music with the you died screen. Must be that way it's built into the sound file. Also, it's now 10, not 5. Play age, next music done. So this is the next song. If that resulted in 60, which this is just indexes times 5. Age, next music done. Which must be a global variable. Display age, next server done. Which apparently didn't get updated here previously. It's start next age file read. Start next age file read. Double. Display age, next music done. Oh, there was, okay. It says remove this without a double. Oh, no, this isn't, no, it's the 5 plus 5. There must be another one of these. Or the patch is just reading weird. Okay, so that's a global variable. That is... We added that because to compute the server age. Because this is going to get used to set time, right? Determine if we should start playing it. Nudge, next music done, minus music length seconds times age rate. And that's like all that's used for. Start age. Sample counted age. Compute server age. So in 2 hours, 1 life, that's going to be the 120 minutes. Which is going to correspond to real time. Sample counted age. I wonder if the 5-minute blocks are interacting with the scaling. Because there is still a 5-minute thing there. Although that's all happening in display age space. Too close to that age transition. Start on next. Start next file read. Next 5 block times 5. Seal in display age. So the problem we have is what? We play the final song music at, say, 5 minutes to go. And then almost immediately play it again. So I might just have to have some debugging for this for next time we play. So I can, next 5 block. We're determining the music we load, right? Yeah. Look up that file. So that +1 is awfully suspicious. Too close to that age transition. So if we come in, and I'd actually have to work out what that end of life math would be. Let's see, I don't know. I actually don't think Desmos would necessarily do a standard graph very well. No, it would probably be like calc. And most of these are linear up to a point. 5, 5, 14, 14. 2020, and then here's where it might be a little bit weird. Format? Not graphic. Insert. Chart. Close. Do I care if I flip these? Guess it doesn't really matter which is which. Oh, okay, yep. Okay, so that's A and B. Yeah. The important thing here is that we do have, well, it's hard to tell if there's a steepness change there. I think that that's slightly more than linear. Oh. Well, undo that. Undo that. Why is everything terrible? There might be a slight angle change there. I wonder if I can change the grid lines on this. Borders, area. This is chart wall. Format wall. Chart type. Is this like an axis thing? Format axis. Color. Width, transparency, line. Scale. Interval. This is in particular when we want 5 minutes on. And I probably want something on here for comparison. Twice as long, so maybe we do tens. Just, oh, we don't have lines. X-axis. Line. Okay, that wasn't it. Okay, so why does this axis have lines? Line continuous, color. First round, positioning. Oh, interval marks. Okay, so minor. No. Oh, maybe it's width 0? No. This should not be this hard. Width 0. Place labels. Cross axis at 0. And that's all font stuff. Show labels. Why is everything terrible? Oh, maybe. Oh, that had. Okay. It's a separate element. Okay, so 2020, 3355, 1414. 104.40. So you're trying to play music every 5 minutes of display age. So So there's going to be one here. Ideally, there's one here. Ideally, there's one here. Ideally, there's one here. And that's at... I don't have a point there. It's going to be slightly beyond... What would that be, 115? Is it enough to be beyond the limit for jumping to the next one? Because it seemed like the music's like ran right into each other too. Which maybe mean it was a little bit delayed coming on. Now, I guess one tool I would have to test this would be to just hook up some of the compute display age. And just kind of run some of the numbers to see what these functions would do if called at certain times. That was my other way to approach this. Start new age file read. Yeah. This might just be a duplicate the code in this one. Because really all that matters is kind of this level of what, if called at what time. Do we, what music do we play and when? And really, this was a music bug. Did I have anything set up for just straight up value testing? Compute server age, compute display age, and age scaling. I guess we just have a init print some stuff out. So the issue we have is this function, which gets called probably infrequently. From restart music with a certain age, from step music player with get current age. I think you're operating in server age time. But you're using actual game get current time, so that's going to be a squirrely one to test. I probably have to have a simulation of it that was just like, here, process this as if it was this amount of time passed. Age is just probably to remember when it was called. Now you're probably going to get called the server age. All right, so we can check. Init age, is it not init age control? Init age scaling. Init age scaling. Okay, server age, display age. So maybe we actually have a separate test function that just gets called from here. And what do we do? What are these numbers? All right, so that's our points. Well, we're looking at going both ways. So if we go from server to display, we've got the point itself. No, it's 104. Compute display age. We've got point itself, 117. And the sound thing is going to have to do some of this both ways. That's a possible point of curiosity. And then we have to do display to server. I guess we should check some of these same things. You would be 40. I mean, the endpoint should be kind of givens. And there's probably other points that might be interesting in there. I guess that would be 5 minutes before the end. Well, I'm gonna have to get into how the sound stuff works. See what numbers we need to run. Okay. So I'm going to have to pre-declare this because these functions don't exist yet. Which is weird. No, you have to be declared. Computer server age. Oh, these were all doubles, weren't they? Double, double, boil and trouble. Oh, I was passing these literals. I don't even... do I even need to start up for that? Okay, so there's the table. Oh, I actually have to use these settings. That is the real one. Okay, 104 is 40, 117 is 57, 115 is 54, and 55 is 115, and 47 seconds. Well, no, 47, and 47%, it's not seconds. Was he doing a 10-second margin? Too close. In display age plus 60. What? I was thinking 60 seconds there. But I thought age was in minutes. And the age scaling generally works, so most places that is fine. In age plus, well, maybe age rate isn't what I immediately assume it is. Age plus age rate times time. I mean, time passed is in number of seconds itself. Okay, so age rate includes the scaling factor for that. So that is 60 seconds at age rate. How much does that contribute to age? So that is 1 minute. Wait, in display age plus 1 minute. Okay, so next 5 block is the ceiling. So if we're within 1 minute, wait, it's less than, okay, so in display age rounds up. If it rounded up by less than 1 minute, and the operation we're doing here is start next age file read. So we scheduled music for what would have been 55. So we got 55, we got 115.47. That should translate back to 55, but we could check that. 115 itself goes to 54. There's also the problem that our previous run... Well, no, this wasn't in the 40. So this actually would have been the accelerated section. So we should have done music, music, music. So maybe there's something to do with also how 50 schedules up to 55? And this whole music scheduler thing might be kind of messed up. In terms of how we're translating stuff. So we might also be concerned, let's see, so that is server to display age. I'm not actually sure what that translates to. But you'd be trying to hit 50. Is that sufficient to get it? That is sufficient to get it. 50 goes to 111. And this is on our compressed time scale. I highly doubt that's a 4-minute piece. But that is compressed. So if you did 5 minutes, it would be past 55, but still not so close to the next one. Yeah, I might have to kind of figure out the trace-through music player here. So we've got this process. We start the next file read. We sometimes do next 5 block. +1. I mean, I guess I could try to fake this through its process. Age next music done. We've got next 5 block, which is what we use to load this. And then that's up to the updates. Would this be easier to actually set up in me? You know, I have to go expose the... I might be able to kind of get some fake functions here. So this is just get current age, which is time passed, so we'll pretty much fake that part out. There has to be an argument somewhere. That's just sample rate, that's just sample rate. So these are all static, they'd have to be not be static, but it would let us refer to some of those global crosstalk variables if we did it here. And we did something like Da, 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 da. I don't think he really referenced much else, so you're kinda okay. It's the async stuff that gets a little bit weird. So start next read. Restart music boots the whole thing off, which would normally be at 0. Oh, I'm going to have to figure out what the age rate is. We know it's seconds to years. Starting music at age, that's all the actual stuff. Oh, I thought you were age control. Actually, how much more is there? Step music player is normally going to be doing a lot more stuff. I don't think we're actually going to deal with time. I don't know if we care about samples. No actual OG stuff. Oh, the original one returned a handle. And then the other thing we might have to look at is step. Remove sound playing. Music OG not equal to null. So you do get current age, start next age file read. So async file done. Music length seconds. Well, length is a factor we're not necessarily considering here. Sample computed age. Get sound samples. May have an effect. Music length seconds times age rate. Age next music done is what we compute. So would be affected by the length, which we're not even going to try to load the file right now. And maybe I could just fake up the calls to pass certain ages and like tell the sound system that we're this age and see what it figures for things. But it feels like that +1 is it. So you're going to do some stuff with age rate, some stuff with that. So I'm trying to do a test here. I've got a little bit of a cross declaration here. So what does this look like? So normally you would start the music at a certain time. Like you would fake restart music at 0 at an age rate of, they're using that to translate 60 seconds into 1 year. Was that 1 over 60? And I don't know what that is. And then, so that calls that once with whatever we passed into there. And from there, it kind of depends on, well, it's supposed to be scheduling the music for age next music done, which didn't end up being exposed. So maybe our fake start next file read, oh, it's still an int. But you are going to be a double, right? Because all our things are doubles. We don't get our first one, though. But we could totally just call this again. Because it's going to be at 0. And you're pretty much just going to be a loop. I'm going to be a little bit careful with this. So that should keep advancing. So it'll happen once. That should kind of give us a sense of what server times it thinks it's doing. And I guess we're going to care about which one when it is too. So play. And really, it's going to be done at there. So we've got next 5 block in age and age next music done. Okay, well, that was an infinite loop. It still printed this stuff out. Actually, that's display age. This is really more server age. Like, did we actually compile code here? Okay, apparently we didn't. We didn't hit save, because that looks like an infinite loop. Play 1 from 0 to 5. Okay, so there's our first start. Wait, 10 to display 0. Well, you're at least advancing. Oh, because I didn't edit that properly. So why is our age resetting? 1 from 0 to ending at 5. So first music at 5, second music at 10, third music at 15, fourth music at 20, fifth music at 41, which is interesting. Yeah, that's not right. We should have some intervening music before... Oh no, 41 in server age. That might make sense. Right, this is server age. I mean, it might want to do... And we didn't have the display age here. I could probably have that printed out as well. 41, 62, 83, 104... and ending at 60. Well, that might be that little bit of offset he did. 107, 111, 115. To 60. Why did we go back to 7? So we called that with... Oh, wait a minute. Maybe, do I just return the value if it falls off the end of the table? So this was server age to display age. Got to free all that infinite loop table. Ended up being a very large document. That's almost worse than it took to load it. Wow. It actually is a smaller file, right? 1 kilobyte. We just have to free all that memory from before. So one of my Vim processes is 800 megabytes. The others are like 5.1 and 9.4. And it's slowly going down. So we can handle large files. It's not so good at freeing the memory again. You know, we're almost at 700 megabytes. All right, so what do we do? Compute server age. This is... What are you doing? You compute display age. And then we do compute server age back. So this could technically be on either end. Oh. Did it finally get there? Okay, so 121 goes to 121. That's fine. What about 60.1? Oh wait, copy one of these, please. Nope. One thing I'll never get about Windows is sometimes random processes just launch. I have no idea how I'm doing that. $60.1 to 60.1. So how are we going? How are we going? And since this thing won't end by itself, we actually don't have very many iterations here. Probably, I think it's less than 20. Well, wait a minute. 65. And 4 is 15. 5 is 12. So that should be more than enough. What do I need to know? I need to know what your in-display age was. Display age, next music, done. And your display age, next music, done. None of those get... If it's equal to 60, we do bump it up a little bit. But it should be pretty small. That's server age. In age, I'm pretty sure is server age. Now we got in age. we want in display age and display age next music done. Okay, no infinite loop. Start. Uh, 12. Yeah, we did get the reset. So we're going 0 to 5, display, 35 to 40, 40 to 45, 50 to 55, 55 to 60.1667. And that is where we had a reset. Did I use the wrong? No, this is only a plus equal. But up here, we did... Oh. No, I was reading this wrong. So display to server just kind of falls through. So that's the server age from the display age. Do I do anything with you to guarantee that? Because I know that for server age, we went to double pair start equals, just return server age. Oh, if this is able to return, end equals, so start equals 0, 0. Start equals end. Now when we went the other way, or maybe I once again didn't read it right. Oh, you know what? We did fall off the end. 121 to 121. How would I even do that? You would like need to infer a slope from the end. Now for the amount we're going over, one of the answers is you add an element to the table. Although I think my intent was you could sparse specify points. Well, I guess it not doing anything if there's no entries makes it kind of pass through. Now, if there's no table, it's all just one-to-one. This doesn't explain why he necessarily played end-of-life music, though. If anything, that would have said it should have played the wrong music. Well, it actually picks that up front. And what was our music sequence? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 115 to problem. Oh, so it's going to read that as time passed to play the end of life music immediately, and then it's going to come back and kind of do it again. So we'd go from second to last to last to last. So it is technically undefined past there. So for display age, if it's in range, if we've got a start at the end of this, and we didn't return, we would do server age end plus server age minus start. Server age minus start, server range. Now we get a slope for the very end, but not an overall slope. So what are our problems? We were cutting this in half, and then we weren't. We were doubling it, and then we weren't. So just not having that discontinuity would help a lot. So that is server age minus start. So for the server delta, display range, and then start dot y plus the suggested stuff. Wait, where's display range, end minus start? Fraction is including this stuff. And if those are both 0, that should be a no-op. All right, 121 goes to 61. That's one case. You also have a start. Are you the same thing? Well, we kind of use you backwards, don't we? display delta, display age minus start dot y. So it goes back to linear, but it's just, it should at least be continuous from there. .1 to 120.1. So we go play 1 to 12, and then you actually end because you returned an age that was over. And then we just don't have any weird numbers in there. Alright, so I think probably having these equivalence tables might be a useful thing to have around. I don't know if I want to do all this stuff. As sort of as useful as seeing that was, it was a bunch of stuff. And we should actually not call that. And that's the actual fix. Copied some white space. That's all the fake stuff. Quick compile check. All right, we are on the right patch. I want a build for this. All right, so this needs to be tested. In a realistic scenario. Some other name, default search craving, road following, traveling. Since this was undoing a specific feature, I don't know that it would be accepted as a general patch. And once upon a time, I thought I had the time to start a new feature. We just haven't gotten back to it. Hey. I don't think I need that. And then that is it. Don't need Task Manager either. Alright, thanks for the sub to support me. Thanks to everybody who hosted me. I will be back this afternoon to test all of this stuff out and see how the road networks are going. This is when I am usually on. And bye.